Hello everybody, my name is Ungar, and welcome to my Tier 5 review sort of video thing. Today I'm just going to kind of go through all the official reveals, and by official I mean anything that was posted on the Slug Disco channel. Obviously, if you really wanted to know stuff about Tier 5, YouTubers have already been uploading videos on that, so we pretty much know we pretty much know everything about Tier 5, except for the Final Formicarium Challenge, but I've not really watched any of that, as I don't want to spoil myself too much, but I have watched all the Slug Disco videos, so I'm just going to go over what we officially know, and what we can infer from what we have seen hiding in the background and such. First video, Megaponera analis, the Matabele Ants. These will be our playable ants, and as we can see, they are pretty big looking. We saw a size comparison on the Discord. The medic is about the size of a trapjaw, and the soldier is a little bigger. And yeah, they hunt termites. Here we can see some termite major workers based on their big old jaws. We can also see some of the medics here. They are blue. And if we can see here, they kind of sting a little bit, as we saw there. That is one of their two abilities, or, choosable options. I don't really know what to call them. Two different types. I don't know. Anesthetist, or however you pronounce it. Those guys get a sting, which, from what I've heard, increases physical damage taken, so damages from, like, bites and things. And is also just like, of course, you know, a sting, a big damage dealer that's going to help them during combat and make the medics more of a combatant unit, because we know that they cost 75 food, which is pretty expensive. But yeah, if you choose Anesthetist, then they become actually good soldiers and can also revive. We don't see it in this video, but the other thing that is revealed, their other unit type, is Fast Responder. Now, Fast Responder is pretty much just going to be like a worker. It's just going to be really fast, revive units better, won't be slowed by brute tiles. So if you want to get a lot of revives, Fast Responder is really going to be helpful for just boosting your revive count. And revives are going to be extremely important to the Matabele, as it pretty much, just like the Fire Ants on level 3, can double their population size. And since Matabeles are individually quite powerful, being able to revive them, we don't know if it's free or not to revive. It might cost food. I don't think so, or I could be blind and have missed it somewhere. If you want to know, you can probably just watch a YouTuber revive an ant, and that will answer that question. But that is pretty much all we know about the Matabele. Their soldiers cost the same as a big-headed ant. And yeah, if we see here, when one of them dies, they should, yeah, the Matabele medic you saw in like the last second of the clip there. But they prioritize reviving over attacking, which is very interesting. I'm not sure if there really is anything that is prioritized over attacking if you have attacking off. Maybe relocatable aphids in certain cases. Yeah, Matabele ants exclusively eat termites, as we can see in this clip. They will grab dead termites and carry them off to eat them. So that will be our food source, and that's why we have the medics, because to eat, we need to be aggressive, and we need to kill and fight. So we have the medics to decrease our losses and help out the bigger soldiers in combat. As we can see in this clip here, we can see a Matabele medic coming and grabbing a fallen soldier, I'm pretty sure, because that guy is pretty big. And they'll pretty much just go and carry them off to the nest and then revive them. And that was pretty much all that was shown in the first clip. If we can pause here, we can see this is 5.2. That's revealed to be what this map is. We can see there's 4 termite colonies, and we can also see some of the units down here. We see the worker icons, the medic icons are purple, and the soldiers are red. And then we can see them kind of going around, see some dead termites here. We know where the player nest is located, and we can also see the underground, which, you know, that is pretty neat. 5.2 is going to be interesting. But that is literally it for the final ant species reveal, the first official video. So, on to the next. Alright, the next video here introduces the stink ant, which is going to be interesting. They are bigger than Matabele's and are much, much more powerful. They have been revealed to have AoE as on their basic attack, which is going to be pretty interesting. They are huge and scary, scary creatures. I'm kind of sad that we didn't get a full colony. These guys will not really be playable. They won't have a queen and such. As of now, I'm pretty sure they don't even have brood tiles, so they won't be in like an Eruptor colony on release. But yeah, they are pretty interesting. They are huge. They look like a Matabele. Yeah, and their unique trait is their pheromones. They can attract reinforcements. So if they're overwhelmed in a fight, they will call for backup. As we can see in this clip, they can kill a Matabele soldier and almost kill a second one. And in this clip, we can see them getting heavily, heavily overrun, and another instance of the anesthetist doing its work here. You can see the medic stinging. But when those two get overwhelmed, they call in backup. From this clip, it looks like it calls in 2 reinforcements per ant. That could just be for the trailer. Could change per difficulty, we don't know, but it's going to call in more than the original squad. So you'll be fighting, if you fight 1, you'll at least fight 2 from the reinforcement wave. And yeah, gonna be interesting here. We can see a different clip, same map. Look at how big these guys are compared to the Matabele. We can see the termites actually more up and about in this little end clip. You can see some big red dots. We're not quite sure what those are. Probably some of the critters that we know of. You know, standard enemies. But yeah, stink ants, look at them. They're huge, they're scary, and they are going to be... We're not sure if they're in every mission, but they are revealed to be in 5.2 and 5.3. I didn't really like the stink ants that much. I thought it would have been much cooler to have another full colony, but this is an ant I'm very excited for, the driver ants. If you guys have ever played 3.2 on the higher difficulties, you know how scary the army ants are. And here is another species of army ant that's going to have some different abilities, and they will be in 5.2 just like in 3.2. They're going to come and, you know, do their signature little raiding moves. They look absolutely terrifying. Look at those jaws. Just look at these guys. They are a force to be reckoned with. The narrator says in this video they are more than capable of dealing with the Matabele, and obviously they have a lot of numbers, so usually it won't just be a 1v1. You're gonna have to beat off a swarm of them. We don't know if they directly attack Matabele nests. We do know from this trailer that in 5.2 they ambush the termites, which is going to be really, really unique, as you pretty much have to, you know, the Matabele have to fight off the termites. That's their food source, right? So you need to kill termites, but also if the termites die, then you no longer have a reliable source of food, and food's going to become very scarce. So you have to balance killing termites to keep growing while making sure the termite colony doesn't die out. And driver ants are going to be a direct threat to the termites that is going to have to be balanced out. Not sure if the raids every day will choose different termites to attack, because as we've seen, 5.2 has 4 different termite colonies. But if they attack the same nest until it dies, my strategy would probably be just don't mess and eat from that nest at all, just so they grow very strong and powerful. But as the narrator says, I mean, just look at all these driver ants. They will not be able to survive. The medium soldier here in this clip, it's not totally sure. You know, we don't know exactly if it's going to have a special ability or just be like the media of the Ekaton army ants, but it looks like the more the termites damage it, the faster it attacks. So if we go back a few seconds, we can see it attacks slow, and then it starts going a little faster once the termites bited it a little, which could be interesting, becoming more dangerous as it gets lower on health, sort of like the red velvet ant activates its sting on low health, and some other creatures do that. But I'm pretty sure that might be the first time we see No, not the first time we see an ant ability based on health. I'm stupid. But as we can see here, driver ants, they want to eat this. The big guys will have a sort of pushback ability, just like the big heads. If we go back a second here, we could see it. Yep, see there, pushback and stun for a little bit, which is going to help to break through the front line, and they eat termites. So, you know, pretty scary stuff. Driver ants, super excited for, and it's just going to be amazing. If 5.2 is like 3.2, we can expect an amazing soundtrack. Anyone who plays Empires will love the 3.2 soundtrack, and just the idea of 3.2. Super menacing, super unique and interesting. And here it's going to be even more unique, have a super complex game mechanic. You want to balance killing termites and growing your colony while making sure that the driver ants can't kill them off, so that then you don't starve to death. Going to be really unique and interesting, and I just cannot wait for 5.2. But on to the next trailer. So here we have one of my favorites, the termite trailer. I absolutely love the termites. I cannot wait for these guys. They're absolutely my favorite thing coming in Tier 5. I mean, let's just pause and look at this mound. This looks super intimidating. The termites are going to have a mechanic, as the narrator would explain here if I had my volume on, that the termites are sort of like leaf cutters in the way their processing mechanic works. After this, we're going to see a more in-depth look at termites in the form of the how to play video for Tier 5. But this one just kind of shows off just some cool little screenshots of them, some cool little videos. We can see Termite Queen here, ginormous, just like the Leafcutter Queen, gets some extra queen tiles, and then also really unique here if we can find him. Yeah, he sometimes just goes inside the queen, which is kind of funny. But they have 4 different casts. We can see the minor workers, and in the previous ones we saw that the major workers go outside and harvest. Then they have 2 types of soldiers. The little ones will do a little confused ability, like the little black ants, and the big ones, we're pretty sure, have an execute. We'll find the evidence for that in a little bit. But little black ant ability is really cool and makes battles more ant-like instead of just straight lines, which is really unique. They have this really unique system. They also have the king, which is unkillable until the queen dies. So he is a permanent royal guard to the queen, which is going to be absolutely great for the early game, as just like leaf cutters, they're going to be slow in the early game, and since a lot of things prey on them, they're going to have a pretty tough time, which is why the king is going to be really cool, really helpful, and they're just so unique and interesting, and I cannot wait for termites. But there really isn't much that is revealed in this video. We just kind of see inside the nest. We see some of the tiles inside, and we kind of just see some termites doing their thing. We can see some earwigs, which don't have their own trailer, but they appear in a lot of stuff. And just again, for the stink ants, driver ants, and this trailer, it's the same stink ant end screen. So, on to our more in-depth look at the termites. Alright, this is one of my favorite videos. How to play as termites. Pause right here. In level 5.3, last man standing. We know that there are 3 levels coming up, 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. Not much is known about 5.1. I mean, obviously, if you watch the YouTuber videos, you would be able to find that out pretty easily. But 5.2, driver ants. 5.3, you play as termites. Holy moly. The devs lied straight to our face saying that they wouldn't be playable, but they are. And we can already see here some of the icons. We can see the mini-maps, and we can see some of the, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced lignocellulose or something similar. Yeah, lignocellulose. And this is what the termites eat. So you're going to need to go to the surface and collect this, just like leaf cutters. But we can see on the mini-map you can collect food inside your nest. And the way food processing works, as we can see here, you collect it on the surface, drop it off into little storage chambers like you would any normal ant, and then the smallest, the minor workers in the nest group will come and eat that, and then as the video says, deposit is the polite term, onto fungus tiles where it'll then grow. So yeah, you have dedicated fungus gardens where all your food is stored. And it's pretty much just a leafcutter fungus. Might be changed, might not, who knows. Still looks pretty cool. Interestingly, termite workers benefit hugely from tile upgrades. Not sure what that means, but it's going to be interesting. And also, we can see nymphs. Termites don't really have larvae, they have nymphs, if I'm pronouncing that right. So instead of larvae on the brood tiles, it'll just be replaced by a little nymph who just kind of sits there. Also, interestingly, midday sun does damage. Look at that. Yeah, we can see some units taking little ticks of damage here from the sun. If we go back a little, we can see some of the objectives for the mission. We can see termite resistance to Matabele raids, so it looks like you can maybe like stall them or do something to damage them, which will cause them to not be as aggressive in the next raids. We can also see an indicator of when it's too hot and revived units from the Matabele, which is interesting. If we go back here a little bit, we can see the objective is just to survive. The objective is to make sure the other two die before you. And yeah, from what I've heard, this mission is going to be difficult, which I'm excited about. Can't wait to play a bunch as termites to try and beat this. We can see the termite soldier tile, which is new, and we can just see that both of their abilities are apparently going to complement each other, which is going to be really nice. You know, it's always good to have epic strategic gameplay that requires you to use a combination of skills of all your different soldier casts. And then we can see some more inside on the map here. We can see the queen, and then we can see that some of the ant raids for the Matabele and stink ants. We can see the termite king just defending valiantly. And yeah, version 1, June 7th. On to the next trailer. Alright, this trailer I'm very, very happy about. Matabele Ants did a full video on this, but we can see alligator-backed scorpions. Hottentotta, Hottentotta. Pretty cool scientific name, and just look at this thing. It is ginormous and really cool. I'm pretty sure these are workers, because they're not stinging, I don't think. But yeah, it can do a little jab with its, you know, big scary stinger thingy, you know, signature ability of the scorpion, which looks like that Matabele is paralyzed. It's not doing anything. It can also lift up and do a little execute ability, and then of course it just has its basic jab attack. So it has 3 attacks. It's going to be pretty scary, and then we can see it'll appear in 5.2, and we can see some more throughout the trailers. 5.2 gets more populated, which is pretty cool, and then we can see, you know, your 3 different tiles for the placeable ants, and yeah, look at it go. That is pretty much it for this trailer. This is literally just 3.2, which, you know, army ants, 5.2 army ants, pretty cool, pretty cool. And yeah, that was pretty much all that was revealed in this one, just a really dope scorpion. I mean, just look at this thing. It is absolutely beautiful and very, very threatening. So, on to the next one. Here we have something that I'm not too excited about. Trapdoor spiders. It's literally just a, what do you call it? The, why did I almost say checker beetle? It's tiger beetle larvae that are the challenge mode in the 2x levels. They pretty much just come up, eat an ant, and then in a few seconds they disappear back into their little cave. It does appear like ants have to get much, much closer. The tiger beetle larva would sort of lunge out, but these ones you have to walk like directly on top of or in a 1 tile radius around it. We can see that it's not even really going for that ant. And look, he has to like literally graze the trap to be eaten by the spider. It looks pretty cool, but it's gonna be annoying, so I'm not really happy about this guy. There isn't really anything unique about him. He's just kind of a tiger beetle larva, but slightly different, and isn't the challenge mode, so he's gonna appear everywhere, which, yay! And then we can just see this original clip again, but now it says version 1 coming June 7th. Yeah, trapdoor spiders, tiger beetle larva. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, here is the 1.0 release date trailer that just kind of shows off a bunch of clips. Some of these aren't even from the 5x levels, but they're just normal clips. But there are some really cool ones here. We can see that termites drop, we can see from 24 up to, I think that's 30. So they drop a lot of food. And that is a good reason why Matabeles are so expensive. Termites are delicious, delicious. Usually the maximum value for carrying stuff is like 15. 30 is double that. So you can get a lot of food from all of these termites. And it looks like the same casts of termites are drop different food amounts. I'm not sure if that's random or maybe based on level is the only thing I could think of. Like level 1s drop 26, like sort of how if you level up units, it increases the score that you get from killing them, their stats, obviously. And then maybe with termites, it also, you know, since it increases their size is what levels also do, just slightly as an indicator. Maybe that increases their food level. Maybe it's just random and I'm overthinking it, but it does look like with the workers up there, it's slightly less. So you can expect more from the stronger units and expect slightly less from the weaker units. But yeah, that clip, interesting. This clip, really scary. Why is there a Titan in the nest? This is the Sun Spider, which was shown off by Fraz. Slug Disco themselves haven't really shown this thing off much. But as we can see, it has a little smack attack where it does a bunch of stuns. It's a Titan. You can climb on it. And we can also see every time it does the smash down, an ant gets thrown off of it. And, you know, they all get confused and stuff. We've also seen that it has an execute attack where it eats things. And I'm pretty sure it also has another different variation of its smash attack that activates at, like, half health. But anyway, we can see driver ants here aren't carrying back nymphs, because I think this was recorded before the nymphs were added. They're probably going to be replaced with nymphs. We can see them carrying actual termites and stuff, and then just leaf cutters. Here is a really, really important clip. We can see this weird looking nest. Like, what is this, bro? Oh no, it hurts to look at. But we can also see, let me just wind this back a second. See this tiger beetle here? Watch this, did I just say tiger beetle? This new version of the tiger beetle, this new thing, I don't know, these things are in like every tier except for tier 3, womp womp. But yeah, see this big termite soldier? Watch this beetle. See it get pulled in there? That is our evidence that it is probably going to have an execute attack, which is going to be really, really unique here. Let's just wait for, okay, Matabele Queen, we can see medic tiles, soldier tiles, worker tiles, and of course, you know, the queen tiles and the queen itself. And then, yeah, more normal stuff here. This trailer isn't really the best for finding Matabele things. Here, though, we can see 5.1. Objective, survive 3 nights. There are 3 termites. We can see the underground. We can see some different tile types. And this is a pretty cool shot. Yeah, 3 termites. Cool looking underground, very interesting looking, and yeah, gather food, blah 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 blah. Ooh, spooky. I wonder what that could possibly be. Oh my goodness, are those fire ants? We don't have those yet, do we? No, we do. Get back to the Matabele. We need the Matabele. That's 2.2. This is 1.2. Can we get some? There we go. Matabele versus driver ants here. We can see them sort of coming from over there. And we can just also see some termites with their little confused. I don't think any of the big soldiers use their execute in that little clip there. Very interesting. Very interesting. Here is also a very, very important clip. This is where we get revealed the objectives. We can see the day 2 raid, casualties lost, return with food, and then objectives. Force stink ants to close off tunnels. 1 of 4 is completed in this clip. The interesting thing, though, is that it's an optional objective. So it'll probably help you beat the rest of the mission more easily, but is not required. So I assume if you close off all 4 of those tunnels, then stink ants stop spawning. And you don't have to deal with them for the rest of the mission, which would be really, really nice, because I already have a distaste for stink ants. Because, you know, I was hoping for something else. Anyway, though, driver ants must suffer 150 casualties and return home with less than 20 pieces of food in a single raid. So that is, you cannot ignore a single raid. You need to make sure that these guys are always being fought back, or they're going to take a whole lot of stuff from termites, and you're just gonna, like, fail the mission, pretty much. Which is pretty scary. You also need to make sure that the termite colony survives, which, I mean, is pretty obvious, but, you know, good to know. We assume that when you kill them, you get, like, a huge boost of food. From what we've heard, their dead tiles drop a lot, and you might be able to eat the queen, who knows? Pretty interesting shot here. We can just continue on here. There really isn't much. Then they get to the Formicarium stuff. We can see over here, Matabele here. Interesting clip. Real final experiment we can see in the background, and then I assume 5.1, 5.2, 5.3. Anesthetist and fast responder. Ants have a sting that allows enemy, what am I saying? That slows enemy movement and attack speed at level 3. Their sting also increases physical damage to the target. So anesthetist makes them really competent fighters. Fast responders make them super speedy, not slowed by brutiles, and revive ants faster, and then also evade. So they pretty much just double down on reviving and sort of sacrifice some of the combat capabilities offered by anesthetist. But yeah, those are the 2 unit options. Pretty interesting. And then he just kind of, you know, goes through normal stuff. Interestingly, there's going to be new textures for the Formicarium, which is pretty dope. We can see here, look at this. Do you see this mini-map? This is different. This is not the 4X Formicarium that we are used to. And then in the next shot, we can see it change back, which is going to be really unique. Something happens in between beating the 4X levels and the, you know, the Formicarium challenge with the hybrids, and then up to tier 5. Could that be the Formicarium challenge 5 Formicarium, I guess? Who knows? It changes somewhat, and we don't really know much. We saw a mini-map, and that's it. A lot of speculation about that. But that is pretty much all for this thing. We can see, you know, a better look at the new textures. This video is pretty chaotic. Half of it doesn't show tier 5. Half of it shows really good information. And it's a interesting reveal trailer, to be sure. Very importantly, though, 1.0 releases June 7th. This is when we first saw this thing here. Before that, it just said version 1 coming soon. Also, if you turned your sound up here, you would see the scientist kick down a door and then say, "I told you I'd be back." So Scientist 2 will return, based on the voice line at the end of this trailer, which is super duper threatening and very scary. But on to the next reveal. And holy moly, is this one a good one. This is your normal, you know, ants. They're industrious and hungry. Nothing's free in the undergrowth, you know, that trailer. We can see Matabele Queen grabs an egg. We can see some medic tiles. And termite royals in your nest. Interesting. We can see some more of those earwigs, which are your common enemies like the Devil's Coach Horse and such. And then we can just see some more underground tiles. We can see the nest entrance. And yeah, termites. Interestingly, though, termites are defensive, so as we can see here, they don't rush your queen like the earwigs do. And those guys back there actually didn't really rush either, which is first time I noticed that. We can see here, nest entrance again, a lot of, we can see actually every different tile here. Workers, medics, your soldiers, and then of course your normal food stores. The only new thing is the medic tile. The soldiers are pretty much just like your trapjaw, your wood ant, your big-headed ant, tile texture, same with workers, and, you know, obviously you have your normal food stores. Then we can just see some clips of them eating up some termites, and a rainbow lizard really cool. We got some screenshots of this thing. It's pretty much going to be like the amphibians in the 4X levels. We can see it sort of wander over here and just do some devouring, wait for it, and yeah, he just kind of eats some ants. He's going to be an interesting threat to our colony. Pretty big, scary thing, and obviously, since we only eat termites, the food amount received from such a big creature is really going to be quite minuscule. So avoiding fights with everything but termites as much as possible is going to be pretty key, because they're not really going to give you much reward, but are going to take heavy losses. As you know from the amphibians, they are quite annoying to deal with. They have a bunch of heals, a bunch of high damage, a bunch of HP, and they're pretty threatening creatures. Then we can see another shot of the scorpion. Hotentata. Yeah, then we see some other things. There were a lot of smaller reveals that are shown better in this trailer. We can see the rainbow lizard again, this little 4X amphibian wannabe, and then a humongous mantis. Just like in the 3X levels, I'm pretty sure this is the giant African mantis. So, absolutely terrifying. Look at how big this thing is, and I do not want to deal with that. It looks scary. It has a little white dot to signal that it's the giant African mantis, and obviously it's going to be giant. Then continuing here, we can see some driver ants going up to termite nest. Pause right here. There's some weird looking spider thing here. This kind of looks like a fishing spider, which is going to be the challenge mode for tier 4, also coming in tier 5. But it kind of doesn't. We don't really get that much of a good look at it, so we're not quite sure what that is. Here, though, very interesting. Stink ants in the background, Matabele, driver ants, but I'm sure all of you are really looking at this behemoth. What is this? There's a giant centipede. I mean, look at it. We can also see over here, it kind of ducks its head down there and does some sort of special attack. Sorry about that. We're not quite sure what attack that is, but, you know, obviously it has a special attack. It's a pretty scary creature. We can also see the Emperor Scorpion, which is going to be a Titan. Absolutely terrifying beast. Look at this thing. It looks very menacing with its giant claws, and then we can just see some Matabele versus termite action. This guy kind of just sits here, doesn't really do much, and then you have your little pan out from the nest. We can see some really interesting stuff here. What is this? Is this an assassin beetle bug thing? I don't know. Kind of looks like it. Kind of looks like a stink bug, maybe. Then we can see rainbow lizards going ham. The mantis up here, and just Matabele grabbing termites. We can see like a whole group of these things. They're pretty slow, and they raise their little their little gaster things on occasion, which is interesting. Here, another sun spider, the smaller version. There's a Titan and then a normal guy that can be climbed. So like just a big bug. And then we can see a better look, and I'm pretty sure this is 5.2, as that's pretty much, we can see 4 termite nests, which is the exact amount in 5.2. Also nest in the middle, 5.2. Like 99% sure this is 5.2. No way this is like a free play map or something, because 5 nests, I don't know. It's 5.2, pretty sure. But yeah, that is pretty much it for what has been revealed on tier. I didn't even realize that. But is that a smaller, like a juvenile form of the thing we saw over here? The, gosh, bro, I'm dying. The centipede, millipede, whatever that thing is. Just like how the sun spider has a big Titan version, and then you have this little guy here. We have the. Maybe that's a Titan? It looks humongous. I really hope we get a Titan centipede. That would be epic. This might be a little one. We can also see the spider, which is, whoa, really fast. That thing looks a little too big to be a fishing spider, so we might get another spider. I heard we're getting a lot of spiders in Tier 5. Sun spider, you got the Trapdoor Spider, and then maybe whatever that is. That might just be a fishing spider, and I could be dumb, but who knows. And of course, there might be some things that have not been revealed yet. Obviously, a lot of abilities, a lot of stats, more in-depth. Obviously, since this is just a bunch of trailers, it's showing some stuff off and leaving things vague. Pretty sure under here we can see one of the Trapdoor Spiders. And yeah, I'm quite sure that that is everything that has officially been revealed for Tier 5. Pretty much everything that I could find on the Slug Disco channel. If you guys want to do some digging, obviously you can just go and watch the YouTuber reveals, or, you know, just do some digging, ask around on the Discord to figure out some stuff if you want to. But it's coming June 7th. As of recording this video, it's June 2nd. So 5 days, pretty much. And the Matabele will be here. Obviously, I'm going to immediately be streaming it as soon as possible. I might be a little late. But, you know, I'll get there as soon as I can, and we'll stream the glorious Matabele Ant Tier 5 epicness. So, I'll see you when the Matabele Ants raid June 7th, 2024. And, yeah, if you did enjoy, please remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Have a fantastic rest of your day. Join the Discord with the link in the description. I don't think I'm forgetting anything, so yeah. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!